Agora, nosso próximo palestrante, nosso keynote internacional. Pode colocar ele aí. Pode colocar o Jayson Street aí. Jason, how's it going, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing?
Jason, you have the coolest hacker's cave that actually exists, because there are several ones in movies that are like fiction, but you have an actual one, and congrats for that.
Well, thank you. It's like I like to do a lot of work here, so I like to be comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a thing. I'll introduce you in Portuguese for the audience. Pessoal, o Jason, ele é VP de InfoSec na empresa Sphere em Nova York, NY, ou Sphere NY? Is it Sphere New?
Sphere and Y. It's a really difficult name.
Sphere and Y. Okay.
Sphere and Y. Yeah.
It is in any language, I suppose so. No
For
problem.
New York. Yeah.
Então, yeah, for New York. Okay, I got it. É VP de InfoSec na Sphere and UI e também embaixador global de grupos da DEFCON. Por isso que ele está aí no Hacker Adventure, sempre rodando o mundo, visitando algum capítulo local da DEFCON. Ele é autor da série de livros Dissecting the Hack e com mais de 30 anos de experiência em segurança. Jason já palestrou em diversas conferências, como a DEFCON, a DerbyCon, Hack em Paris, no Do Hack, IT Defense, Scan 360 e, claro, no ROADSEC. O título da palestra dele é o melhor título de palestra até agora. I was saying that you got the title, I'm just conceding you the honor of having the best presentation title from this series, which is Pensamentos Aleatórios com Jayson durante o apocalipse. Na palestra, o Jayson compartilhará algumas reflexões sobre os eventos atuais através da perspectiva de um hacker. Lembrando que a palestra é em inglês, a gente está testando várias soluções para fazer dublagem ao vivo, para fazer legenda ao vivo, mas por enquanto vocês ficam aí, se esforçam um pouquinho para entender, depois semana que vem na outra a gente posta com legenda para quem perdeu alguma coisa. Mais tarde nós vamos conhecer os hackerspaces, vocês vão poder votar para quem que você quer que as doações vão de forma mais significativa. E vocês vão também ver o DJ William Caprino, do You Shot the Sheriff, a figura por trás, junto com o Nelson Murilo, que estava aí no chat, junto com o Luiz Eduardo. Ele vai estar aí animando os embalos de quarta-noite. Galera, uma salva de palmas no chat para o Jason. Jason, the stage is yours. Thanks a lot for being with us. And feel free, you're always welcome at any ROADSEC at any time.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'd like to start off with, this is going to be probably a different presentation than you're used to in the past. It's like, I know there's a lot with PowerPoints and technical details. I don't have that today. I come to you a little upset, a little ranty, a little, concerned. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm like, when they presented me with this talk in a second, I've been doing a lot of different virtual conferences, and I didn't feel like it's right to give my regular presentation because of what's going on and how I usually deliver. So I've been doing questions and answers, and I got to the point, it's like recently, it's like where we've come to a realization that there's problems going on in this world. And no matter how many people are still trying to deny that it's there, we're hackers. It's like, we can't just, that's not how we roll. That's not how we approach problems, by just saying, oh, that vulnerability is going to go away, or that flaw, that security risk is going to go away. So how do we do it? It's like, so I feel frustration. I feel anger. I feel depression. I feel but mainly frustration right now with our current situation. And I want to know what I can do to help and what can I do. And I know I'm not the only one. And that's the key thing. I think that's one of the key things, that I know I'm not the only one. And I think we need more people to be comfortable talking about the uncomfortable parts of the situation. So, I mean, I want to start off right off the bat with one of the issues that no one wants to talk about. It's like, I mean, in Brazil right now, there's already been over 1.1 million cases of COVID. Over 52,000 have died with this. Probably by now, probably around 53,000. It's like we've had over 600,000 recover, which is amazing, and that's awesome. But it's still a problem. It's not going away. And you can delete the records and think that that's going to solve the problem, or you can stop testing, which is what we're doing in this country for some reason, because that's going to make the number smaller and make it go away. But it's still there. On a positive note, it's like we have a vaccine being tried out in Brazil right now. There's a clinical trials going on in South Africa and Brazil for a new thing. It's already a new vaccine that's being tested in Britain. That was just released today, the news on that. So that's great. So there is always going to be hope. It's like we have to seize on that hope. We have to seize on the fact that things are going to be better. Things are going to get back to hopefully not the way they were. It's like hopefully it's going to get to better. One of the things that has amazed me during this time that we're living in now is, and not everybody gets this, and it breaks my heart that they don't. But one of the things that gets me the most is we're starting to understand the veil is being lifted, and the disguise is being lifted off our society, where we are starting to understand certain truths. Football players are not essential. Sports, entertainment, actors are not essential workers in this environment. When it comes down to it, when something is going on, doctors and nurses are essential. Grocery store stockers are essential. Delivery drivers are essential. Garbage collectors are essential. It's like people like that. Teachers, oh my gosh, teachers are more than essential. Anybody that's been homeschooling a child will totally tell you that within the first 10 minutes of a class they had to try to teach their children. It's like those are essential workers. Those are where our priorities lie. It's like no one is going and saying, it's like this situation would be better if I could just go to a football match. And if they are, they're idiots. I have never thought in my lifetime that we would be fighting two pandemics at once. We are literally fighting COVID and human stupidity. It is literally like people going out in the street and protesting that they have the right during a zombie apocalypse to be bit by a zombie. Their body, their bite, their choice. What for a haircut? It's ridiculous. We need to start understanding that there's a situation and understanding where our priorities lie. So this whole veneer of the government is there going to help us, well, that myth has been exposed. What's going to help us and what has been helping us and getting so many people through this is us realizing that we need to come together as people. We need to come together as a society and work together. And one of the things that I've relied on and I've looked at to give me hope is the hacker community. It has been beautiful how I've seen the most of the hackers respond with a situation like this all over the world, not just in America, all over the world. I've seen hackers respond with, there's a problem, how can we solve it? People, there is in the US and other countries, there's been a huge shortage of PPE gear, which is like the face shields and surgical mask connectors and things that that will help doctors ease their burden. It's like, and what have hackers done? They've created them. It's like I literally have a shipment right now going out soon for surgical mask connectors. It's like, I've been giving them, if you have a 3D printer, it's like do a search on Thingiverse for PPE, or look for Masks for Docs on Twitter, and look for 3D printing guidelines and STL files to start printing out some of this gear and give them out, not to just hospitals, but to nursing homes, to places around. I carry some in my backpack when I travel sometimes. So it's like when I see a worker, a stocker, it's like a person working at a fast food restaurant, and it's like, and I see that they're wearing one of those surgical masks, I hand them one saying, here, this might help. It's like, that's what we can do. If you've got computers, and I have, it's like in a couple of these machines are actually running Folding at Home. Folding at Home is a supercomputer based off of everybody else's, and it's working right now 24/7 on how to find a vaccine or a cure for COVID. So that's something you can do right now. It's like, you can dedicate CPU time for something like that. You can dedicate your 3D printing gear for something like that. There's so many other things you can do. And one of the things that I hear is like, well, Jayson, I don't have a 3D printer. Well, Jayson, I don't have a supercomputer. I don't have a really cool laptop. I don't really have a really cool desktop that can spare those kind of CPUs that would actually be of any use. Do you live in an apartment building? Do you live in a close-knit neighborhood? Have you gone to your neighbors and just asked them, do they need help? Do you have elderly in your building who may need help going to the store because they're immunocompromised, because they may, they're more at risk for catching this disease? It's like, have you figured out a way to help them, to offer assistance to them? Every single one of my neighbors has face shields for every one of their families and surgical mask connectors for every one of their families. It's like, reach out to your community, to your neighbors, and see if you can help them. It's something as small as just going, when you go out for resources, you know, going out for them as well. Getting their shopping list, getting the money from them, and going out and do it, and leaving it at their door, and leaving it, keeping your social distance from them, and helping them. Because this is not going away anytime soon. It would be great if we get the magical vaccine, or we get the magical cure. That still doesn't mean it's going to disappear tomorrow. What are we doing for next week? And what are we doing for next month? How are we preparing for that? That is questions that hackers can come up with and figure out what they can do to help. It's like, we need, as a community, to understand that we're not powerless, because that's one of the biggest things, I think, from frustration that you get and anger, is because you feel powerless. You feel like, what can I do? What can I do to help the situation? And you dwindle on that, especially in isolation. We get so just lost in our own little world, and we have it good. As hackers, we're used to communicating over video. We're used to Skype and video chats and Zoom. This is second nature to us. Imagine how many other people are not able to do this, who don't have the privilege to have this technology, to have the internet capabilities, to go out there. I mean, we're looking at all the other people that are out there and not having these resources. We are extremely blessed right now, and we need, and I've always said, and I stand by it, it's like, the only reason why you are blessed in this life is to share those blessings with others. It's like, and if you're not sharing them, you're wasting them. So it's like, use your resources, use what you have to help spread it. It's like, spread that. And it's like, and I did a hashtag on Twitter, and I meant it, spread smiles, not COVID. It's like, even though if you're outside, you should be like, you know, have a mask on, and they shouldn't be able to see you smile. Besides the point. It's like, but understand that's what's important right now. It's for us to maintain that hope and that positivity, and to keep going. It's like to start the process of healing our communities, what we can fix and what we can control. It's like, and it's difficult and it's hard, and I don't have any good answers. It's like, I can't tell you this is what's done it to make me better, because I'm not better. It's like, I mean, I'm doing the best that I can right now. I think everybody's doing that. It's like, we have friends, we have loved ones that we rely on, that we can fall back on if we're lucky. Some don't. Some don't have that either. So we need to reach out. We need to contact our friends. It's like our loved ones. It's like those that we have maybe not talked to in a while. Reconnect to them. Use those resources to talk to them. It's like, there is no set answer, and that's wonderful. We're hackers. Let's make some. Let's fix what we can. We're not going to save the world. This is not a kumbaya, let's all come together and find a solution. I'm not saying that. I'm saying start in your community. Start in your neighborhood and see what you can do to make it better. And it reminds me of this story, which I saw in it was an Eddie Murphy movie. It's like, but his character told a story about a little girl on the beach who the starfish had washed it up on shore, and they were dying on this beach. And she was just throwing as many as she could into the water. And the guy came up to her and was like, why are you wasting your time? There's no way you're going to be able to save all these starfish. Why does it matter? And she grabbed another starfish and she threw it in the water. And she said, to that one, it mattered. To that one, it mattered. That's why we do it. That's why we keep pressing on, because for those that we can affect, it matters. You're not powerless in this time. It's like, you're not helpless. You're not hopeless. We have ways to cope, and we have ways to make things better. They may seem small to us right now, but we don't know what kind of impact it can be in the future. If you're looking for a technical talk, once again, I apologize. It's like, though some people say my talks are never technical, so whatever. And I will be back next year with a more offensive talk. It's like, some will say this was probably offensive, but it's like, I will be out there and I will be giving out awkward hugs next year if there's a vaccine, asterisk. It's like, and I will try to be spreading those smiles. I will still trying to be there to do an impact. It's like, and I want to see you there too. It's like, so stay safe. It's like, literally wear a mask. I have right now, whenever I go out, I wear this hoodie. It's like, I wear 2 masks. It's like, I wear this one. It's like the N95, and then I wear my DEF CON because, I got a rep. It's like over it. And it's some people say I'm paranoid. Yes, you are correct. Move on. It's like, I've literally gotten in almost fist fights with people because they weren't wearing masks, and I was telling them, it's like, why aren't you wearing a mask? Put a mask on. It's like, because we need to stay safe. I'm not wearing a mask to protect me. You're not wearing a mask to protect you. You're wearing a mask to protect the people that you encounter, the people that you love, and the strangers on the street. That's why you wear a mask. And when they're not wearing a mask, or when you're not wearing a mask, you're showing not strength, not toughness. You're showing stupidity, you're showing selfishness, and you're showing a lack of respect for your fellow man or woman or non-binary, anybody. You're just showing disrespect to humankind in general. We need to start understanding that it's not about us. And that's one of the things that this epidemic and the social unrest that's been going on has shown me. It's not just about me. It's about impacting what I can do, how it impacts others. And it's like, and I am proudly wearing this Pride shirt that I got from DEF CON for June, because when you go back, Pride Month started from a riot. It started from people protesting what was wrong and that there needed to be changes, and they weren't going to stand for it now. It's like, that's what we got to get back to. Stand strong on your convictions and your beliefs. And when you know that you're in the right, when you know that you're doing what's good for humanity, don't listen to people telling you why you shouldn't, or why masks don't bother, or why this doesn't matter. It's like, all this matters. It's like, make it work one person at a time. Be the example. If anything else, just be the example out there. It's like, that's what you can do, and that's what we need more of. We need more people to understand that it's okay to be uncomfortable. It is okay to feel like you don't have all the answers, but you just got to do these things, or you just got to do this. It's like, that's okay. It's like, I tell people, this is a no judgment apocalypse. It's like, and I've always meant that in jest, but guess what? After 2 months, 3 months of this, I'm pretty judgy right now. If you're not wearing a mask, you're a direct threat to me. It's like, it's about mitigating risk. It's about it, but it's also about calling it out. It's like, and you have to be better than that. It's like, and I tell, especially if hackers, if any hackers are out there going saying, oh, I don't want to wear a mask because it's like, it's just the man telling me to wear a mask. What about surveillance? All these people privacy minded worrying about mass surveillance. It's like, wear an effing mask, you know, stick it to Big Brother and their camera systems around the streets. It's like, do it for whatever reason. If you don't want to do it for the simple fact you're helping to save other people's lives, for the simple fact that that helps flatten the curve, that helps make this less. America is a dumpster fire right now, not because of technology, not because of wealth, not because of anything but one simple thing: stupidity, to the lack of acknowledging that there's a problem and there are simple solutions that you can do to help prevent it getting worse. And that was to wear a mask. That was to stay indoors. That was to self-isolate. It's like, don't be like that. It's like, be better. It's like, we need to learn from this time in history to understand that it's got to be better. It's like, technology is not going to always save you. Sometimes it's just the human acts of doing the right thing. So understand that. I wish I could have something more positive. I wish I could be more funny. And I hope to get back to that. It's like, you know, I hope to get back to Remember the Kittens and having really good talks. I miss going to conferences. I mean, isolation's not done good. It's like, I used to travel all the time. It's like, I now look at the places like, oh, I should be in this country right now, and I'm not. So I'm trying to stay active, trying to do what I can. Do self-help to yourself. Make sure you're at least going out and you're getting some exercise, even in your location where you can do that. It's like not going into the park. It's like not going to the gym. It's like, but trying to do things to stay active. It's like, stay to things to stay positive. And understand that when we're in this situation right now, it's like, you can always take time to ask, how can I help others? How can I help the situation? How can I make it better? And I've rambled on that a little bit. I've repeated that, and he's like, we keep coming back to that because it matters. Because it matters to everyone. So don't give up hope. Don't feel like it's hopeless or it's insurmountable. It's like, we as a community have never had that resolve. It's like, we've never given up like, oh, well, oh, they said this system was unhackable. Okay, I guess we'll give up on that one. It's unhackable. The vendor said so. Really? Is that how we roll? I don't think so. It's like, that's a challenge. So my challenge to you is to understand, hey, this pandemic, it's unsolvable. Really? Challenge me on that. Show me wrong. Show me that I'm wrong. Prove it by coming up with solutions. It's like I came up and I spouted off 3 different things. That's so limited. There are so many other things that you could be doing. There's so many other things that you can think of that I haven't even thought of, that you can do in your community, that you can do with your 3D printer, that you can do with your computer, that you can do with your skills and resources that I probably haven't even come up with. Show me. Show the world. Show this community. It's like, be part of the solution. It's like, we pride ourselves on breaking things. Well, guess what? It's already pretty effing broken right now. Show us what you can create. Show us what you can build. Show us what you can heal. That's going to impress me right now. That's going to make me feel that's what a hacker is. We don't need anyone right now showing us how it's broken. We've got too many people out there, too many politicians out there, too many everybody out there showing us day after day how it's broken. Show us how to fix it. Show us how to make it better. That's what we need more. It's like, so I have a certain amount of time. It's like, I'm not going to go off and go on. It's like, but what I need you to do is to understand that we can do better. I need you to understand that we all can do better. And it's not just on you, it is on me. So let's do that together. It's like, I'm done. It's like, I don't have anything else to say, but I wish you well. I hope this finds you safe, and I hope that you and yours stay safe. It's like, and reach out to others, to people that you've not talked to in a while, to people that you talk to all the time. Be there right now, because just that phone call, just that message could be that impact that they needed. And that is such a small thing to give right now, but is so desperately needed by so many. So please be part of the solution. Be part of the change for the better. That's what we need right now. Thank you for having me. Thank you for taking this time. And once again, I love ROADSEC and MindSec. It's like I have a special place in my heart for Brazil. And I know it's trying times right there. It's like, I have been in Sao Paulo. It's like, I love the streets and the arts. And it's like, I love going through the park. It's like going through Ouro Preto and looking through the valley and the mining city is a town. It's like Belo Horizonte, Brasilia, even though they don't know how to make sidewalks to get from one building to the other. It's like, it looks beautiful from the sky. It's like, it was well done for planning. But I love Brazil, and one thing I've always admired about the people there is that it's the openness, it's the love, it's the understanding of community. I was in Ouro Preto, and I had a lady open her home so I could look at a toucan. It's like, because he comes in and he flies over by her window, and she let me into her house so I could get a good picture of it. A complete stranger. It's like, and that speaks to me, that kind of openness, that kind of community, that kind of kindness. It's not just a Brazilian thing. It's a human thing. And that's what connects all of us. It's like, so please understand that all of you do have a special place in my heart. It's like, I leave a part of myself and I gather a little bit more from every place that I've gone to around this planet. And I've always said I've never met a foreigner. It's like no matter where I've gone, it's like we're all humans, we're all connected together. And the one thing that this pandemic has shown us, and the internet has always shown us, is that we are connected. We are one people. It's like we need to remember that a little bit more, especially during these times. Thank you for having me.